Hi guys! A couple of days ago, Motojitsu made a video named "Even Motor Cops Get This Wrong", which is a bit ironic because in his video, actually he, himself, gets his whole main point wrong and reinforces one of the common misconceptions about slow speed riding. So, let's discuss how it happened. And by the way, my video is not meant to be some kind of cheap shot on Motojitsu. It's not a criticism of his persona or his entire channel or anything like that. It's just a commentary on this particular video, made in a respectful way. I feel it's important to say all this, because otherwise there will be people who will say that I'm just a stupid hater, which is not true. Okay, let's begin, shall we? If you haven't watched his video, its whole point boils down to this.
The most important thing for low-speed turns is lean angle. If you want to make a tighter turn, you have to go a little bit faster and make the bike lean more. You cannot rely on turning the handlebars alone. It's inefficient and will keep you very limited in your ability to do these turns. And sadly, I've heard motor cops say this directly to a bunch of students.
So basically, if you are not leaning your bike a lot and keeping it upright during slow speed maneuvers, you are doing it wrong. And if you tell people to ride this way, you deserve a big loud facepalm and a label of a white belt.
So for someone to say, I want you to stay upright and just turn the handlebars, that just screams that they're a white belt.
But is it true? Let's see what his arguments are.
So here you can see the speed on the upper right. I'm going 2-3 miles per hour. Going this slow, you have to constantly try to balance yourself because speed equals stability. So if you're going slow, you have to try to stabilize the bike and you're trying to do low speed turns. That's why even though this GS is capable of turning my handlebars really far, I'm making humongous circles. Because I'm going too slow, you have to try to balance the bike, you're turning the handlebars, and with no lean angle, that bike is going to be straight up and down, and it's going to make a big circle. But now watch what happens when I increase my speed, right, and make the bike lean more, the turn tightens up drastically. Check it out. So now I'm going 8 miles per hour and the bike must lean more, and lean angle is what you need. That is the king for everything. You have to lean the bike more.
I understand that this is for demonstration purposes, but it's a manipulation. Notice, when he keeps his bike upright, he purposefully wiggles the front wheel left and right, which is why he ends up with this relatively big U-turn. And then, when he starts to lean the bike, he keeps the handlebars turned full lock. No wonder that now he has a smaller circle. Let's try to compare these two techniques more fairly. As you can see, here I keep the bike upright, but keep the handlebars turned all the way. And here I keep the handlebars turned the same way, but now I also lean the bike more. As you can see, there is definitely a difference, but it is not really a make or break difference. On a vertical bike, I still can have a good turning radius. It is not that I now suddenly need 20 meters to make a U-turn. I think you will agree that this experiment slightly contradicts the following.
Lean angle, that bike is going to be straight up and down, it's going to make a big circle. But now watch what happens when I increase my speed, right, and make the bike lean more, the turn tightens up drastically. And in order to do so, you have to go faster. So the problem is, this is the secret. When people think of low speed turns, they think it's under 5 miles per hour. That's not the case at all. It's usually between 8 and about 15 miles per hour.
This is a pretty arbitrary definition of slow speed riding. It misses a lot of context. Let's just think for a moment. In real life, what are the cases when we are doing slow speed riding besides when we are practicing on a parking lot? Normally, it is something like entering or exiting your driveway, filtering through a standstill traffic, maybe crawling along with a bunch of other bikes in a line if you fancy group rides or festivals like Sturgis. This is usually how a slow speed riding looks like. It often happens in confined spaces near other cars, bikes and pedestrians. On top of that, you can have bad weather conditions, dirt, trash, leaves, potholes, sand and gravel, and all the other stuff which we like a lot. So, in regard to normal riding, like let's say filtering, what do you think is better? To crawl at 3, 4, 5 miles per hour on an upright bike, or to zip around other cars at 10 miles per hour? Of course, it's better to go slow. It's not a mistake in any way. Which is why on most courses, police courses included, they don't normally teach you to lean your bike a lot at slow speed. And it doesn't really deserve a facepalm, right? Then he goes on about how it is important to ride with one hand, with extreme lean angles, sticking feet out, looking at different directions, etc. And that's perfectly okay. You can definitely do all this stuff just to have fun, no harm in that. But for some reason, these examples are being presented as some kind of proof that you have to go above 8 miles per hour when doing slow speed maneuvers. Normally, your speed is defined by the road situation. It can be 1, 2, 3 miles per hour, etc., which is why a good slow speed training ensures that you have a good control over your bike at any speed, not only above 8 miles per hour or any other arbitrary number. Now, if we are talking about advanced riding techniques specifically, like Motogymkhana or rodeo type of riding, the reason we lean our bike a lot is not so it could physically fit into the course, it is a byproduct of speed. Again, the whole context that we must go through a course as fast as we can dictates that we go fast, which naturally makes our bike lean a lot. We don't go fast to lean a lot. We are being forced to lean a lot because we want to go fast. And that's what I wanted to say really. You don't have to lean a lot when doing slow riding maneuvers. And if you are going below 8 miles per hour, it is not a mistake. Don't worry about it. You can try go faster, you can do counterbalancing if you want, it's all good, but it's not mandatory, at least for slow speed riding specifically. As usual, if you find this video useful, please leave a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Also, check out my beginner and advanced video courses, and if you are ready to take your riding to the next level, join my exclusive King of the Road 3-month course. Spots are limited and fill up quickly, just as they did last time. Subscribe now if you don't want to miss the start. On this positive note, it's time to wrap it up. Thank you for watching, ride safely, and have a wonderful day. Bye! One more thing. Just in case someone tries to repeat this labor of Hercules, remember that riding inside your garage for a prolonged amount of time can result in carbon monoxide poisoning. So make sure to keep the gate open, at least. Bye again!